everybody, Driven Dave here. Just wanted to show you what I'm doing here. I'm here by my beautiful 2008 Toyota Sienna XLE Limited. And we're going to change the oil today, as you can see by my awesome hat and GoPro. So I just wanted to kind of do an intro, let you know what's going on. Little disclaimer to get out of the way. I am not a professional mechanic. This is for entertainment purposes only. If anything, maybe you can laugh at me when it doesn't go so well. That's cool. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button down below, like, share. If you find it helpful, I hope that's great. These can be a little tricky, and I'll show you why. This is probably my least favorite DIY project, just due to the design of the oil filter housing. You'll see. And mine has been loved on, okay, the opposite of loved on by lots of mechanics. So I'll take you through the process. You'll see what I'm talking about, and hopefully it goes well. We'll see. Step, you want to open the hood, prop rod, get that going, and then you actually want to remove this. Also take a look at what kind of oil your car takes. 5W30 in this case. I think on some of the newer Siennas it was like 0W20. So just make sure you're using the right weight. And you know, let me caution you, and again, not a professional mechanic, just my opinion here, but the manufacturer knows what kind of oil you should use. I like the OEM Toyota oil. That works great. If you have a specialist mechanic, maybe do whatever they say. But don't, you know, I wouldn't go to somebody that says, oh, you have over 100,000 miles, we better use heavier oil. You know, as long as your engine isn't burning oil or anything funny's happening, just use what it's supposed to have. Make sense? Yeah, I thought so. So the next thing we're going to verify is, I wanted to see if I could find the engine code. Oh yeah, there it is. 2 something, 2GR-FE, something like that. So you can see right up in there. I'm not too concerned about that right now, but if you ever need to know your engine code, yeah, 2GR-FE. I don't know if you can see that because this is on my hat, but so you can always check your oil capacity, obviously with the year, make, and model, and the engine code. So that's very helpful. And while I'm in here, and I've got my flashlight, I just kind of want to look around and check things over, make sure everything's cool. Again, not a professional mechanic, just using what I've got. I hate doing the oil change on this car. It's really a drag. But sometimes a feller needs to save a few bucks, and that time is now for me. So I'm trying to save a few bucks and take my YouTube friends and family along for the ride. I do see a little bit of moisture down there by the lower radiator hose. Huh. I may have my mechanic look into that just to see what's going on there. Could be that it's a little bit of, could be from the AC system, but I don't know. If you know what that is, let me know. And again, it's just good to do just do as much inspection as you can. Looks like I've had some rodents down there. Not cool. I'm sure you can hear my rodent repellent doing its thing. Always check these vacuum lines. These tend to break and come disconnected. Looks like that's hanging on by a thread. We're going to leave that. We're going to do the right thing and pretend I didn't see that. We're just looking everything over. Okay. So everything looks fine for the moment. I'll probably crack open the air filter a little bit later and check that as well. But now let's climb under the car and decide to hate our decisions. Got my little bag of tools here. And I really tried to get everything kind of preset, so that way I didn't have to hunt around for tools and make 15 different trips back to my tool shed, as I'm sure you can all relate to. So the first thing I'm going to need is, I got this oil filter housing wrench, which I can't remember if it's the right size. It's probably not. So I'm going to hate life. And I'm going to need a 14 mil socket. Oops, that's there. It's right the first time. So I got that set up so that way we can do the drain plug. And I've got a flathead screwdriver and my assorted oil filter wrenches and my larger socket wrench. So, got my nasty drain pan. Put that under. God, it's been so long since I've been under here. I don't even remember where the oil pan is. God, how embarrassing. We'll just kind of take a peek. You can come with me. Oh gosh. So far, this is a terrible video.
Sorry, I can't search for videos on Apple Watch.
I wasn't asking for that, Siri. Where'd it go? There it is. It's way over there. Awesome. Yep.
That's what I figured.
Whatever. I'm gonna take this off. One of the things I wanted to show in this video is just how stuff is never quite as easy as you think it's going to be. Especially this job. This job sucks. Okay. I'm only saving, I don't know, 10 or 12 bucks doing this myself, which normally I'd just say isn't worth it, but right now it's worth it. You dig? Okay. And then get better leverage. There we go. So I did let the engine warm up just a little bit. Probably should have let it warm up more, but I don't want to burn myself on everything. So I'm going to just nudge this a little more. Man, that feels cross-threaded. It really feels terrible. What the heck happened? You know, and I will say, one of the benefits of doing it yourself is you make sure it's done right. Of course, unless you screw up. Now, as you can see, got this oil pan kind of at an angle because this oil is going to shoot out kind of that way. So let's see if I got it right. Hard to tell from my vantage point. And oil in the hands. Oh, this is going to be smooth. You'll see. Hey, that's about as good. That's about as good as anyone could do, I think. Not too shabby. I'm going to set this aside so I can wipe it off. Looks like our pan gasket came along with it, and that's good. That's what we wanted. So I'm just going to let this drain. You see I'm kind of moving the pan around just to kind of adjust. I don't know if you can see anything with the light here. I'm also going to grab my flashlight in a minute. I'm just going to look over the suspension components. I've got the van up on ramps right now. But, you know, verify your own safety before doing this because you don't want to get crushed. So I'm going to let that drain. And while that's draining, I think now's a good time to kind of figure out if I have the right stuff for the... Of course, that's not the right one. Or is it? Oh, sure it is. Yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, so this is good. Now, is that gonna... I should have found my swivel extension. It's kind of hard because I'm actually having to hold my hat while I do this. So yeah, I'm going to need an extension for this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've returned from the tool shed with my handy socket extension. And we're going to work on getting that filter housing thing loose. Oh, I hate this part so much. And before you light me up in the comments, and feel free, but you know, I will take care of those leaves, I know. But as you can see, we have lots of trees right here, so, you know, one thing at a time. And the bird poop, I know. So, as I make my old man noises, get under the car again. Alright, there we go. And I'm lined up with this filter. It's probably not going to work. You'll see. I need both hands. And yep. Now, ideally, you should be able to just take this off. But with mine, it's always stuck. Like, always, always. So, what ends up happening is I have to take the whole assembly off. So we're just going to do that. But yeah, ideally, you can actually drain the cartridge before you take it off. And that's cool. I'm going to just leave you there for a second. Because I need both hands to hate my decisions. And boy, oh boy, I hate my decision right now. Because this always gets stuck. Like always. Which is why I never change the oil in this van. Wow, that's awesome. Bring it back with me for a second. Maybe I can set this up. Just set my hat up here. I don't know if you can see that, but maybe you can. Here. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to use this extension, which really doesn't give me the kind of grip I need. Try a different position. But it is on there, folks. Like on there. Okay. Try and push it instead of pull it. Just can't get enough leverage. This tiny wrench. I hate this van for this. Now let's see how it does with my size 13. So far, nothing. All right. Now the wrench is stuck. That's cool. Try and light us up here. If that helps a little bit. Yeah, I was right. Don't try this at home. It's actually worth going to the mechanic just to not deal with this. I'm going to try tightening it just so I can get my wrench loose. You can see the edges are kind of rounded out. Kind of a bummer. I'm going to try one more time just loosening this part. Let's see if that works. My shoulder's popping, that's cool. Now, I'm not by any means the world's strongest man, but I'm not weak either. I assure you, I'm giving it a good amount of force here. But as you can see, it just does not want to budge whatsoever. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try some other tools and check back in. Okay. Yeah, it looks like you can see that. Okay, we're back. So I grabbed this, my Pittsburgh wobbly, whatever it is, 3/8 wrench. And we're gonna see if that works. And then when that doesn't work, I have something that might work, and it's the wrong tool for the job. So, like I said, not a pro. This is just so you can have some good entertainment, you know what I mean? All right, so now I've got a little more leverage. Let's see if we can coax this into moving. Probably just break the wrench and destroy my knuckles. Hey! Well, how about that? That was an unexpected turn of events. The turn of the filter. Well, that's great. I guess the only thing that bums me out is that means I'm going to have to figure out a way to get the housing out. And I kind of didn't want to have to do that. I was hoping it would all just kind of come off together at this point, so I don't have to struggle. But I guess that since I have this longer wrench, it should be okay. At least that's my hope. All right, so you can see that kind of comes off. See if I can light the subject better. There we go. So this part comes off, and it's basically just kind of like a cover. And then there's a little plug thing that comes with the new oil filter, and we'll pop that in there and drain the thing out, whatever it's called. You know. And if I could get this back, that would be lovely, because now it's stuck to my dang wrench. And since it's a wobble wrench, it doesn't want to let go. That's cool. Don't try this at home. Okay, I was able to kind of just wiggle this off. And before I reinstall it, I'm going to clean it real well with a paper towel or a shop rag. So next I'm going to get that little tube. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this, but this little tube, you just kind of pop it in here and drain the oil right out of the filter housing. So we'll just give that a minute, let that drain. And once that's done, I will struggle some more and hate this job even more. You can see I'm very optimistic about it so far. Oh, this sucks. There's some things I enjoy doing, like my Lexus LS 400. That one's a piece of cake. I'll change that oil. 20 minutes, I'm done. Don't quote me on that. But it's pretty easy. Oh, I noticed the oil pan is still dripping a little bit. So maybe while the filter is draining, I'll tend to my drain plug. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Kind of clean it up. And I did get a new drain plug gasket. So I'm going to grab that. I don't know why I didn't grab it while I was up, but I'll be back. You can watch the oil drain in the meantime. Very exciting. Alright, so what I did, I grabbed our new drain plug washer. As you can see, it's nice and blue. This is from the Toyota dealership. It's OEM. I'm going to take my little blue shop towel. Just going to wipe the kind of the mating surface there, clean that up, make sure there's no debris. And then I'm going to reinstall, because we're just drip in here. There's really nothing coming out at this point, more than a couple drops. Sure feels like somebody cross-threaded my pan there. Kind of ticks me off. I don't know who and I don't know when. So, as they say, what are you going to do? You can just pull this out. It's super easy. Come on, screwdriver. I'm glad this is just for entertainment. I'm just going to try and see if I can get a little leverage in here. Yeah. Let's pop that out. It looks like the little O-ring that I need to replace came out with it. So that's good, because I have the new O-ring anyway. Alright. Let's give that a wipe so it doesn't make a mess. I'm going to move my drain pan. Thought maybe my 14 mil would be just right there, but it isn't. Well, that sucks. Where's my 14 mil? I know I had it. Probably under my hat. Yep. It was actually, that was hilarious. So it was actually attached. There's a magnet on my GoPro mount. That's where it went. That'll probably work. So I'm just going to tighten down the drain plug. This swivel wrench makes things a lot easier. Highly recommend it. Pretty nice tool, honestly. Made by the fine folks at Pittsburgh. Again, not sponsored content, but hey, Pittsburgh, if you're listening, Harbor Freight, you know, let's hook up, let's do something. So, I don't want to tighten it too much. Just kind of a good nudge. You know, do your due diligence, find out what your torque spec should be. But for me, I kind of do it by feel. And that felt about right. Not too tight, not too loose. Okay, so now I'm going to switch directions on my wrench. So we're going to loosen the oil filter housing. Again, I hate this part. Put my 14 mil where I can find it. Oh, let's hope this works. Oh, this sucks. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I should mention, there's a notch that's supposed to line up. There we go. Sure feels like this thing's gonna shatter into a million pieces as I do this. Come on. I guess the Pittsburgh wrench likes to switch directions fairly easily. And I'm running into some trouble because this piece is kind of falling down. Suppose I could remove it. Like I said, do your own research. So we'll try this. I'll move this out of the way. It's not like anything's coming out right now. Okay. Hard to get some good leverage here. Okay. Please don't break. Okay. Got it. Now, I'm not sure what's visible right now on camera. Oh, not much of anything. That's cool. There we go. Alright, I actually got it. Broke it loose here. The other thing that's fun is you get to strain your neck real bad. It's one of the joys of automotive repair they don't tell you about. But I should be able to loosen this by hand at this point. And then we'll replace the whatchamacallit, the inside of the filter, or the filter itself, and finish up this really difficult oil change. It's just way harder than it should be, in my opinion. I hate this design. And it's not really, I don't feel like it's that much, quote, greener for the environment. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Sure is a pain in the butt. All right. So I'm just going to let that kind of drain a little bit. I'll take my rag. I'm just going to clean the inside of the housing here. Yeah, just a little bit. And clean this too. And then we'll take it into the light. We'll edit this part out. All right, so I'm just going to go under the assumption that all of you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to wipe this off. And of course I'm going to need the flathead screwdriver that I left over by the van. So that's cool. Why do I do this to myself? Okay. So there's my new filter. I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. I'm going to very carefully remove this filter element. We'll recycle it properly later. And I think before I slide that in, I'm just going to replace this gasket. And you can hear my inner monologue crying. That's just me crying because this is hard. Alright, so I'm just going to take my little screwdriver. And if I remember, there's a little, notch right here. And that helps you kind of get up in there and grab that. Oh, perfect. Grab that gasket. Set that aside. And I'll just put the new one in. Now, I mean, I suppose you could get away with that, with not doing this, but you really ought to. It's so easy, and it's, you know, you've decided to do this already, so just do it right. And it just kind of slides into that channel. I'm just gonna use some of the old oil here. I'm sure somebody's screaming at their computer or phone right now saying, "Oh, that's dirty oil, don't do that." You're right. Do you feel better? There, I do too. Yeah, I don't care. You do what you want. That's what I'm doing, because I don't care. It's good enough. Now, the next thing we're going to do, this is going to be kind of messy, so I'll just kind of cover it with a towel. I'll take this other gasket. As you saw earlier, the old one came off, so I'm just going to slide the new one in there, like so. I may grab a little bit of this oil with my thumb and just kind of, there we go, just kind of lube that up. That's cool. Oh, good. And then spill oil everywhere. That's also good. So now I'll just reattach this. Just get it kind of hand tight for the moment. Oh, good. I'll just do that for now. So much for that plastic bag. That's fine. Now I'll just put the new filter. Kind of a tight fit, man. They give me the right. Why isn't this fitting? Come on, man. This is the wrong filter, I think. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's... All right, we're back. Sometimes a feller has to admit when he's wrong. Turns out this is the right filter. It just, I don't know why, it just didn't feel like it wanted to fit, but it totally does fit. So, hopefully, we're gonna wrap this up. Because it's getting really dark at this point, and it's cold, and I'm hungry, and I want to be done with this. So it looks like we can just crawl under the car here, see if I can. And we're just gonna slam my knee into my Corvette first. This one, I line up the threads. There we go. You don't want to cross thread anything. Okay. Line up this little notch. And I'm not applying really any force at all right now. I'm just tightening it just until it, there we go. This has made contact with the base. And I'll just kind of give it a little nudge. That'll do it. Just to make sure. I can't seem to move that. I may give it one more little nudge just to make sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now I'm going to just give this a little nudge with the wrench. Yeah, because that was just hand tight. Do it. You want it tight, but not, you know, insane. All right, we've already tightened the drain plug, so we're good there. So now we'll go up top. Time to put in some oil. As you can see, I've got the good stuff. Toyota 5W30. And hey, I'm sure there are better oils out there. But yo, man, this is a minivan. And it's a Toyota, so I'm using Toyota oil. Now, my mechanic skills have not been impressive in this video. And I'm well aware of that. I'm going to try and do the Bluetooth funnel. Yeah. Pretty good. It's a good pour. I bet I could set this light up so I can actually see. Yeah, that'll work. Now, one thing I like to do, just because times are tough, is I'll just kind of turn these upside down, let them rest somewhere, and let the remaining oil just drip into the cap there. Now this takes, according to the dealership, 6.1 quarts. So I'm not sure quite how to measure the 0.1, but I bought 7 quarts. You don't want to overfill, but you certainly don't want to underfill. Again, we'll just kind of let the oil collect there. I do have a funnel, I just don't want to dirty it. I'm being lazy. All right, here we go. Yeah, pretty good Bluetooth funnel if you ask me. It's another good pour. Maybe I should be a bartender instead. Like I said, I'm certainly not a mechanic, but I've been changing oil a long time. I learned how to do it when I was in high school. My buddy James taught me. Oops, I spilled a little there. Bluetooth connection fail. I'm hungry, so I'm a little shaky. But yeah, my friend James taught me on his dad's pickup truck. And thank you, James. I'm sure you're not watching this, but still much appreciated. His dad had one of those old Fords. I think it was like a 91 or 92. It's an F-150, and it had the straight six, manual transmission, and four-wheel drive. Really good old truck, bench seat. You know, no frills, just really solid work truck. You know, could tow anything, could go off-road. It was just a real truck. So he taught me. At the time I had an 89 Firebird formula. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarts. This is the 6th. And I think I can pour this in without really having to check, because I know it takes at least 6. But yeah, he taught me on my Firebird. And back in those days, we used to actually pour, we would drain out the oil. And the trick his dad taught him was to pour an extra quart through the engine, you know, before you start adding it. And so while you still got the drain plug out, just throw another quart of like the cheapest oil you could get. So we would go to Walmart and buy a quart of you know, Tech, whatever their store brand oil is, you know. And back then it was like 79 cents, so it was no big deal. And so we would just pour that clean quart of oil in, and you would watch it actually like drain out and get cleaner as it went. And so that was our kind of like cheap engine flush that we would do. And I swore by it for years, but now oil's so expensive, I can't justify that. I just drain it and fill it. So obviously we haven't run the vehicle yet. It's cold and we poured 6 quarts in. It looks like we're within operating range. I think we're gonna do here is just go ahead and make sure nothing's you can see I've got my backup plan here. Luckily I didn't need it. Pull all my tools out. See how our oil's looking. I mean, it just looks like dirty oil. There's some leaves and stuff that were already in the drain pan, but everything just kind of looks dirty, but fine. Smells fine too, so that's good. What we're going to go ahead and do is fire up the engine. I'm going to let it run for a few minutes, and then we'll check the oil, see what we think. Probably going to clatter a little bit. Yeah, smoothed out. Current time 6:15. Come back in 3 minutes. Alright, well, the engine's still running. One thing you're supposed to do at this point is to check for leaks. We're gonna just peek under here real quick. Oil filter housing looks dry. Drain plug looks dry. I think. Just really wipe that off just to make sure that it's got just one little drip. I think that's from before. I'm gonna grab my towel here and wipe that off just to be on the safe side. Yeah, so I don't think that's actively leaking, but even down here, since I'm down here, I'll throw my 14 on it and just give it a nudge. Yeah, it's on there. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, looks good. Everything under here looks great. Now we got some seepage over there though. Over there. I think I'll inquire about that on my next visit to the mechanic. I think we'll go ahead and recheck the oil level here. See, it looks like it could use a touch more. Check one more time. It needs just a little more oil. All right. I mean, truthfully, you probably could run it like this. But hey, with car prices as they are, you know, especially if you have a rig that runs well, even if it's not the most valuable or the most beautiful thing, it is worth it to take care and do stuff the right way whenever possible. So I think I'll toss a little bit of this in, again with my Bluetooth filter. Just kind of a, again, 6.1 quarts. How are you supposed to measure that? What's a fella to do? As you can see, yeah, you probably can't see. I didn't pour that much in. I think I poured exactly 0.1 0.1 quart in. It's like back in college, one of the professors talked about making the perfect martini, and he said, you just show the glass the vermouth. So that's what we're doing with the oil. We're just gonna show the engine the quart of oil. There we go. Yeah. Shoot, that's perfect. I know it has to run and cycle through, but I think I nailed it, man. I'm telling you, that felt exactly like 0.1. Yeah, it's right where it's supposed to be. At least as far as I can tell. This dipstick has always been a little ambiguous, in my opinion. But yeah, I think we got it. I think that's pretty good. What I'll do later is I'll take all this oil and pour it into this bottle. So that way I'll get my money's worth. And yeah. And we'll also go over how to reset the maintenance light. So I'll be right back. All right, final step. As you can see, we've got the maintenance required light on. Hopefully you can see that. I could probably hold this now, geez. Yeah, so there you have it, maintenance required. We just want to make sure that this is on odometer, which it is, and if not, you can cycle through. We'll turn that off. I think I'll have to put this on my hat again. Now I'm gonna press and hold this and turn the key to the on position, and then it's gonna flash, and that's back to 0. And you'll see maintenance required is gone. So we are back in business. Hope that helps. Okay, what have we learned? I'm not sure. Don't change your oil. No, change your oil. Just pay somebody else to do it. This isn't worth it. But, you know, at the end of the day, we were successful. It just took 2 hours. I don't know. What's your time worth? For me today, my time wasn't worth much. So I guess it was worth it. And I have the satisfaction of doing it myself and get my hands dirty and actually making that contact with my car, which is always better. But as you can see, it's dark, I'm hungry, it's cold, I have a bunch of tools to put away, my baby's crying. Was it worth it? I don't know. But as you saw, we used 6.1 quarts of Toyota 5W30 oil. We used the Toyota OEM filter kit, new gaskets, new filter element. I didn't get a chance to, yeah, now it's dark. There, spooky. I didn't get a chance to check my air filter. I'm going to do that another day. It's too dark and I want to be done with this. And I also didn't check my cabin air filter. That's also a good thing to do while you're at it. But for the moment, I'm satisfied. I'll probably go to the tire shop, have them check the air pressure, top off the tires while I'm at it. So anyway, drop your comments down below. You can laugh at me, it's fine. But like I said, I just wanted to take you along for the ride here. This is what I did. You can do it however you want to do it. So anyway, until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye.